Hello, friends. This is Ranger Mike at Huntington Beach State Park, and today we're going to be talking about the issues with invasive exotic species. Right behind me, we're in Sandpiper Pond. This is a pond that we have worked many years trying to restore here at the park. And just recently, we've been having an issue with an invasive species that many people have been planting in their yards for years, and that is pampas grass, originally native to the pampas of southern South America. It is used a lot in landscaping. Unfortunately, it is now escaping into the wild and outcompeting our native plants. One of the reasons that we've been working on trying to restore the ecosystem here in Sandpiper Pond has to do with another long-term invasive species, and that's the one that you see right behind me. This is Phragmites. So Phragmites is kind of the nemesis of many southeastern freshwater wetlands. Originally, that was found, the natural populations were found in very isolated areas, but the genetic variants over time have kind of come intermingled. And what we're kind of dealing with nowadays is kind of a super Phragmites. It's very invasive. Once it gets into a freshwater marsh, it can take over virtually every square inch. One of the ways that we've been combating it here at the park for the last few decades is actually trying to reintroduce seawater back into this system. This was originally a salt marsh when I first worked at the park back in 1991. And we were kind of an experiment to see if you could control Phragmites by raising the salinity. And we've actually had pretty good luck with that, at least where we can get salt water to the roots of the plants. We've wiped out about 98% of it, but we still have about 2% that's growing on highland, and those plants are going to have to be treated with an herbicide individually. Another invasive exotic species that we have to deal with here at the park are a very beautiful bird, but one that is not supposed to be here, and those are the mute swans. So yes, many of our visitors enjoy watching them and photographing them, but they can be a real problem in some areas. In areas where they are now nesting and competing with native species of waterfowl, they are known to be very aggressive towards other species that are supposed to be here and can actually destroy the eggs and chicks of other native species. Fortunately, that is not an issue here at the park because alligators make it impossible for them to attempt to nest here at Huntington Beach State Park. So you may be wondering, what is the issue with invasive exotic species? Yes, some of them can be beautiful, whether they're planted in your yard or escaped in the wild, like the mute swans. But they can be an issue when they outcompete the native species that are part of the natural ecosystems here. So what can you do? Well, if you're a homeowner, if you have a yard, make sure you're planting native species. Native plants will provide food for birds and other wildlife, things that the exotic species will not. Some other ideas, if you're interested in helping out with this problem, see if you have a local chapter of a native plant society. We're very fortunate here in the Grand Strand. We have a brand spanking new chapter. It's a great way to get involved. Some other ideas, you can become involved with native exotic plant removal efforts, or you can participate in native plant species planting, such as have been going on frequently at Myrtle Beach State Park. And by all the individuals kind of chipping in and pitching in a little bit, we can help restore the native ecosystems that are supposed to be here.